The future of mankind is being decided behind closed doors. In laboratories all over the world, scientists are working on projects designed to take man beyond the confines of this Earth. You are looking at the actual models of spacecraft now being developed by agencies of the United States government. This is an Apollo spacecraft designed for elliptical orbit of the moon. Its lunar landing vehicle can transport 3 men safely to and from the moon's surface. These are other types of manned and remote control mechanisms, each designed for a specific function. Many already in operation as satellites of this Earth, some in readiness for the moonshot, others designed for probes in deep space, a few to serve as space stations, and the most complex of all, prototypes of craft capable of putting a man on the surface of another planet. The wheel was one of man's first inventions and has been with him all of his civilized life. But now it, like so many other of his creations, must be modified to fit his new demands. These are 3 types of variable radius wheels, designed to transport a vehicle over a rocky surface. New concepts are being created almost daily. Some will never get beyond the drawing board, but others, or their descendants, will become part of man's greatest adventure, the exploration and colonization of space. All over the world, men and women are working to make that dream a reality. Every aspect of the journey is being analyzed, from the tiniest control devices to the mightiest rocket engines. But it's not enough to just get there. Just as the great explorers sailed from Spain and England and France to discover the Americas so that the colonizers might come later, so will our exploration spacecraft precede the colonizers of the planets. Already plans are being made for the colonies. Sources of food and power must be found. Artificial atmospheres created. Everything done to build an Earth away from the Earth. No man living today can predict exactly what the future holds. But this much we do know. All through man's march across this Earth, the wildest dreams and fantasies of one age have become the commonplaces of the next. The motion picture you are about to see can be called today a fantasy of the future. But one day, maybe not too far distant, audiences will be able to look back on it in the same spirit with which we view pictures about the first covered wagons crossing the plains.
intoxicated by the atmosphere back there. But wait a minute, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me tell you the whole story. All of it. From the beginning. And see what you think. You be the judge. It was 2 years ago, in 1998, that the first manned spaceship left Earth for the planet Venus. This attempt ended in tragedy. A meteor hit the ship. Everything was lost. Everything but the will to get there, to explore Venus. And so, it was only 6 months later that the second attempt was made.
Rockets ready. Main rocket stage ready. Fuel ready. Stabilization center ready. Power ready. Air conditioning ready. Radar ready. Guidance ready. Airlanes ready for takeoff.
Attention flight personnel. Loading elevators are now being withdrawn. Countdown continues at 20. All stations prepare for 0 red. Countdown continues at 10. Zero red, -5.
Project Red Planet. All units clear. Switch over to standby.
Astronaut Howard Sherman and Captain Alfred Kearns. But there was another being with them. Kearns' invention, Robot John.
Awaken, John. Awaken. Slow, John. Monitor, John. I hear you.
Everything went smoothly the first part of the voyage. They traveled over halfway, 17 million miles, without mishap. Radio contact was maintained with Marcia at Earth Control, and they stopped on schedule at the United States Space Station, Texas, for refueling.
Attention. All landing personnel, report on flight deck. Stand by to receive flight number 87 from Earth.
Control, we listened to their progress with more concern than anyone else.
Refueling A-OK, over and out.
There's more
because we were the command crew, and if anything went wrong, we were set to follow.
The plan before was
There were 3 of us. Commander William Billy Lockhart.
It seems so unfair.
Astronaut Hans Walters. and me, Andre Furneaux.
would agree with me, but we can't take that chance.
I remember how worried we were as we listened to their voices from so many miles away.
Kern's calling Marcia. Kern's calling Marcia.
Prejudice.
Refueling completed. Ready for blastoff.
Begin our relay.
They were on the last leg of their journey. And then they saw it. Venus.
Cloud formations, 30% ash content.
And they prepared to land.
Could be Hades.
A planet of fire below us. Is it a new world, or will it consume us all?
At any moment now.
Things started going wrong.
Black clouds. Lightning. I don't like the looks of this. I'm turning control over to Robot John.
Ahead, steep mountain. I am going up.
Wow, close call. We're watching on the location finder. The area is strange. This is truly a prehistoric planet. Landing location is square 73. We're now dropping our beacon. Landing 300 meters southwest of square 73. Oh, there's water beneath us. We're drifting.
Sherman. Kern. Answer. Kern. Sherman. Kern. Are you there? It's hopeless.
Well, very soon after that, it became clear there was only one thing to do. Blast off for Venus ourselves. Complete the mission, explore the planet, and attempt to rescue Kearns and Sherman. If they were still alive.
Coming. More, John. That's it.
Cover me, Kern. Look out. There comes another one. I got him. Sherman, behind you.
There. Course 110. Secure yourself to that boulder, John. Proceed. Proceed. Better equipped to fight this place than we are.
I'm wondering if we should be here at all.
Why don't you catch a bus and go home?
Don't think I wouldn't if I could find one.
There he is. He's up. Hold it tight. He can hold it.
You better go first, and I'll come along after you.
Within 2 hours, we were ready to go. Texas ahead of schedule.
Repeat. Stand by to receive unassisted landing.
Refueling was accomplished in record time. There was no time to lose. Funny, considering the way things turned out. What I was thinking about as we sped through the dark universe on our way to an unexplored planet. I was wondering if maybe there wasn't some reason that Venus had been named after the goddess of love. If maybe there wasn't some wise old astronomer way back in the dawn of time who knew something. Something he kept to himself.
My men.
But before I could come to any conclusions about it, we were preparing for our touchdown on Venus, where maybe I'd find all the answers. And then, almost before I knew it, we were there. We were landing.
begin celebrating yet.
Oh.
Is our level okay?
Yep, there it is. On the button. Boy, it sure feels strange to have weight.
Yes, it does seem strange. That's sure. But it's nice and solid.
Well, I don't know about you fellas, but I'd like to see Venus.
Open number 3 and hit the beam. Paper, try the port viewer.
Telescreen gets it okay. We'll pan port. Formations of weird rock. Something's there. I'll switch on the outside sound pickup.
That was the first time I heard her.
A human being?
Hold it. It's finished. Transfer it to playback. Meanwhile, you might check upon the atmosphere, Hans.
It better be good.
Then you better get your spacesuit. We'll move out. Andre, I want you to attempt a contact with Sherman by radio. If you raise them, tell them to report their position. Then get yourself into a spacesuit. We're going to walk about.
I'll be right behind you.
That'll be handy if I slip. Get popping now.
It's 4.7 on oxygen.
That's pretty close. Keep on the rope. Don't get out of visual contact.
Desolate place, but it fascinated me. And I forgot all about Kearns and Sherman and what we were there for.
Received a message.
What did they say?
Marcia has radar movement.
Sherman?
She can't be sure, but it looks like two objects, one metallic and moving in the area we expected to search. Probably Kern and Sherman.
Come on, Andre.
get a shot of that man even.
Careful, Andre. You want to fight that thing again.
Can you imagine that? He's bashful. Why don't we take one of those things home for the zoo?
You've got to be more careful, Andre. If we hadn't heard you call me...
I didn't call. You called out to us. We heard you. But I didn't call you.
It sounded like Lockhart. Let's be getting back.
All we knew was that Marcia at Earth Control had spotted what was probably Kearns and Sherman and approximately where they might be. So we started out in our space car, heading in that general direction, not stopping to investigate the many prehistoric sites we passed. But we were still unable, no matter how hard we tried, to make radio contact with Kearns or Sherman. So we had no way of knowing what they were going through on that distant part of the planet.
Rest. We've very little oxygen left us. Hope they're on the way. Looking for us. Through this heat. They may not be able to make it through to us. You better hope they'll get through it and spot us. I'm beginning to feel like my head's swimming. Of course. It's your torn suit. Infection is getting through. Maybe we ought to take some quinsulin. No. We'd have to rest after. Must keep moving. John. Find shelter. Don't stop. Come on. We have to go on. Come on up. That's it. Stay here, we'll be washed away. John.
Bring him this way. There is no water.
Come on. Just a little bit further. There's a cave right over there. Come on. That's it. Just a few steps further. There. I don't think I can go on much further. John, stay with us. Make sure they find us. They should know. Must continue to work the laws of mathematics. There's always a precise probability. Mathematics, my proof. Mathematics, my...
Marcia. Marcia. Here is Marcia. You must help us. It's closing in.
I await your order. I await your order.
Help them find us, John.
The shoreline's the best.
If we do, my friend, we'll never make it to him.
Fat chance there is of finding him.
That voice again.
Hold up.
Sounds like a girl.
A girl? Perhaps. Or a monster.
It's a human.
Well, there are sure no humans here.
Well, we're humans.
Well, no one else has made it. You better believe it.
But it sounds so human.
Subhuman, you mean, like that 40-armed plant that just grabbed you.
I still say it's a girl.
A girl. With blue scales.
Could be. He's onto something. It's possible that before us, other men got here. Especially in this age. You ought to know that, Hans. To a man of science, anything is possible until proven otherwise.
I can't imagine any people in their right mind exploring planet Venus.
Come on, Hans. We're here, and we're in our right minds, aren't we?
Let's go.
Save him.
What?
There's no response from Kern or Sherman.
Well, we should soon be there.
Keep trying. Maybe we can bring them in on the helmet mic. Kern has an auxiliary.
I am.
Getting. A woman. Must be Martian.
Static's really awful. Hear it?
Point to point on the dial. We'll find it.
I'll try it. Hello. John, hello. John, listen. This is the command ship. Are you there? No response. Come in.
Up one more point.
Come in.
Better go to solar battery. Much bigger reach.
I'm on it now. Hello. 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 You must hear me, John. Please open your mic and answer me. You must obey me, John.
No response. Try another point.
1, 2, 5. You have to readjust your frequency for transmitting. If you hear me.
I hear you. I have adjusted.
Can you report your position and plot number? Over.
Square 40. In shelter.
Tell me what's outside.
Water, sun above, falling on large rock.
That's square 40.
Not far. Ask him about the men.
Hello. We would like to know about Kern and also about Sherman.
They do not speak. They do not move.
How much time before we get there?
Who knows?
Commander, maybe the robot can help.
Try. Keep an eye on the compass. Grab onto them. Hello. You will listen, John. First, you will obey me and do precisely what I say. You will listen. Listen, John. Obey my every command. Remove container 2 from Kern's first aid kit. Repeat. Container 2. Remove one tablet. One tablet. Then open his helmet. I have one tablet. Place the tablet in his mouth. You must do this quickly. Revive him with water. Pour it over his face. Quickly. Then close his helmet.
At least we know they're alive.
Let's hope they stay that way.
Commander, look there.
I'm ready with the astrogun.
Some kind of flying reptile. He may not see us.
He's turning around.
Maybe not.
We're in for it now. He knows we're here.
Look, take it now.
Here he comes.
Don't miss him.
Here he comes again.
Open hull. We'll submerge.
We were forced to submerge, even though we had killed the flying reptile, because of the damage the creature had caused when it hit us. And it was a good thing, too. For here, under the sea, we were to find the second clue to life on Venus.
Let's put it down for a minute. Take a rest.
It's not far to the beach, if our calculations are correct. I hope this will run again.
Don't worry, it will. Look, the cliffs are all in even rows, like streets. I'll look around. Just 5 minutes. Might find something interesting.
What do you know?
It's a statue.
Andre!
What's up? You just look here. That's only a petrified tree.
Only? Why, it's a bronze statue.
And much more, Hans. Rubies.
You say rubies? Show me.
Simple. The eye of an idol.
An idol?
Yes, a reptile. A reptile resembling that flying monster that attacked us earlier. Up there.
You're right, Andre. I'm not laughing anymore. There was a civilization here.
And I'll bet you there still is.
seemed to draw me away, to make me search for, I didn't know what. I felt something, I don't know. I felt as though I were being watched. But I didn't see anything except a harmless octopus. Yet, still feeling a strange presence, I went on. But then, as quickly as it came, that weird sensation vanished, and then there was nothing. Nothing but the sea. So I followed my original impulse, looking for a clue like the statue of the flying reptile. And I found nothing, except a rock that I liked for its shape, and that could serve as a specimen for the geologists.
Couldn't have lasted much longer.
You're not alone.
Here we are, Skipper.
Good. We'll need more fire. Everything in the car is soaking wet.
Feels good to sit.
How are the batteries, Hans?
They stay dry.
The atom plant?
Still hot.
You've got that worried look again, Hans.
You're right. I've pulled and checked every wire and part in that darn radio. It won't operate. I've tried everything I know. I tell you, it's simply hopeless.
How about a long string and an oatmeal box?
Oatmeal box.
The radio will dry out. We know it's not a dead planet. Not completely. Our proof is the statue. And Ruby.
And the woman.
She's probably somewhere. For his sake. But the main thing is, there could be a whole race of people out there watching us, hiding, afraid that we'll observe them.
Fight them?
We came from above. Dropped. To them, we're probably some kind of monster.
What if they're human shaped?
They very well could look like us. But mind you, I'm only advancing a little hypothetical science fiction. Because nothing should be overlooked. Let's face it. They built a city that's now under the sea. Hans, it must be true. Many made it to shore from the sea.
Then why didn't they build themselves another?
We may find they did when we explore the planet.
Before we leave, I'll meet her. Beautiful song and a beautiful girl.
She must have heard you.
Where is it?
Everywhere.
Suppose it could be an omen? Or maybe she's helping us. If I could just see what she looks like.
Make it?
I'm sure.
A feeling of foreboding had come over me. A chilly, ominous sensation. I didn't know what it meant. And I kept staring at that rock I'd found, as though perhaps it might hold an answer.
Andre! Andre! Thanks for waiting.
She'd take care of you.
Stop teasing him, Hans. He's in love.
Gotten suddenly dark.
Well, it's no wonder.
What makes you say that?
There's an ash cloud above us.
An ash cloud? A volcano.
Yes. It's spectacular. And beyond the volcano, it looks like the lights of a city.
The red spot Andre saw. We must get a move on.
Not right away. This might be our only chance to gather some samples, lava and ash, to take away with us.
All right. We'll go to a much better vantage point, and right now. Sherman, come.
But look at the magnificence. No one on Earth has seen such a sight. the spectra sample?
Getting it now. That's enough. The lava is rising. We waited too long. It's covered our path.
Perhaps we can run a rope.
How?
We did it before. From John.
There's no more time. Don?
Yes, I hear you.
Carry us across the lava. Climb on, quick!
Audibility getting better.
Why is he talking? Listen.
Giving radio distance according to your request. Am determining distance 2 miles.
It's Lockhart. I hope so, my friend. I'm sure. They'll be by here any minute yelling taxi. A remarkable invention you have here.
Nice to hear you admit it, Alan.
Temperature, lower extremities, 500 degrees. My self-preservation mechanism says I must eliminate extra weight.
What now?
Disconnect the mechanism.
Where?
Open the door.
Here?
First panel. Hurry or we're dead for sure.
I don't know which.
Let me.
I am forced to free self of this weight.
He's gonna throw us off! Pull the wires!
For the lava.
Speed, Hans.
Smash the panel!
I've done everything.
Kern.
Hold on. They'll be here.
Wish me luck.
For God's sakes, hurry.
You out, my friend.
I never thought I'd see your ugly face again.
We save him, and he insults us. No, we should have saved Kurt's robot instead.
Turn, you rascal.
Knew you'd make it. Is the robot finished?
Yes.
I suppose it does, if you use imagination.
We'll soon be home.
That's right, but we leave a friend behind.
Come. Join the rest of us.
So we took stock of the situation, and though we tried to keep our spirits up, it was still pretty discouraging. The volcano had destroyed some of our provisions, and our rocket ship's fuel supply was low anyway, considering the added weight of Kearns and Sherman. It looked like we'd have to be starting back very soon.
What else is there to do?
Well, we can look for Andre's girl.
Name him after us?
Well, with triplets, it's better with numbers. Looks to me like he's raising his own countdown.
Why not names?
I'd forget.
I'm worried about him. So you really found proof there were people on this planet. Hard to believe.
Believe it or not, my dear Mr. Kearns, it's true. And they could still be here.
I don't go along with that. Could a human survive in a place like this?
You survive. And man will almost always adapt himself in time. And don't forget, in the dim past, we all lived in water. For centuries, our Earth was toxic. But that atmosphere evolved mankind's form. Adjusting's the answer. And I'd bet that these people on our planet couldn't live. The air'd be poisoned.
Afraid I don't share your opinion.
You just can't close your mind to it. We found proof. Proof of intelligent being.
And those lizard men of Kearns.
That's proof. Look, suppose they do look like lizards. Couldn't they be people? Suppose they saw the ship, got frightened, then donned their lizard costumes, then jumped up and down to spook us away. What possible story could explain it better, huh?
None. You're the winner.
Joking aside, my friend, man, lizard, or what, I know there were or are intelligent people here. If we just had time, I think they might come to us. Look, even you, Kern, said you thought you saw the lights of a city beyond the volcano.
I said they looked like, not were. Here, you two. Have some coffee and rest your voices.
If only there was some way to communicate with them, some way to make them understand we were not an enemy, that we wanted nothing except to know their ways, study their civilization. Or was it really all just fancy? Just my wishful imagination? And that sound only an accident caused by the wind in the canyons?
Hey, watch it!
Now that's where your countdown gag about my children.
snow day, and our land is safe again. But what is that? Something strange is there. Come and see.
Just you wait.
I think perhaps we should be trying to find her and take her with us.
I'd vote for that. But she might not like us much anyway.
If we could explore beyond those hills, I'll bet you money we'd find her and the city.
You've been reading too many comics.
Kern wouldn't believe she existed if she were sitting on his lap right now.
Want to bet? We're here.
I think we did a job we can be proud of. Look at all the samples we got. There's going to be a large headline when they see all these great things we're bringing back to them. This one's loaded, old man.
Steady, child. Bring the Spectra.
Seemed heavier than any rain we'd ever seen.
No more.
But it continued without let-up. In fact, it seemed to increase in strength. As we planned our takeoff procedure, which required some adjustment because of Kearns and Sherman, I know we all felt slightly uneasy, nervous, as we listened to the heavy rainfall on the ship. For myself, I listened with a sinking feeling, as though every drop were taking me further and further from ever finding her. Then suddenly...
Quickly, Andre! On!
than our gods. They are stronger than Terra. Terra is a false god.
that's the story. It's been 2 years now, and there's been no plan to return to Venus. Lockhart and Kearns have moved on to other missions. There's Mars to be explored, and Jupiter. But I can't forget her, and I'm going back. Maybe someday I'll see her. Maybe I'll die trying.
Imagine a war so violent that the very ground you walk on shattered into pieces. Imagine a battle where gods threw mountains at each other, where the oceans boiled and where the sky caught fire. This wasn't a war between men. This was the Titanomachy, the brutal, decade-long apocalyptic war between the Titans, the original rulers of the universe, and the Olympians, the new generation of gods led by Zeus. This is the war that created our world and destroyed the old one. The beginning of everything. To understand this devastating war, we have to go back to the absolute beginning of existence. Before the Titans, before the gods, before the mountains and the seas, there was only chaos. A vast, dark, empty void of nothingness. From this void the first beings emerged. First came Gaia, the earth itself, a living, breathing mother of all things. Then came Uranus, the sky, who draped himself over Gaia and covered her entirely. Gaia and Uranus became the first cosmic couple. And from their divine union, they gave birth to the most powerful beings the universe had ever seen. They created the 12 mighty Titans. Massive, towering gods of immense strength and primal power. Names like Oceanus, the river of the world, Hyperion, the god of light, Iapetus, the god of mortality, and the cunning Cronus, the youngest and most ambitious of them all. They also gave birth to the Cyclopes, monstrous one-eyed giants who were masters of thunder and lightning. And finally, they gave birth to the Centimanes, the hundred-handed ones, beings so terrifying and so powerful that just looking at them caused madness. The cruelty of the father. But Uranus was a terrible father. He was paranoid. He looked at his children, the Cyclopes and the Centimanes, and he saw their raw, uncontrollable power. He feared they would overthrow him. So, in an act of unimaginable cruelty, Uranus dragged his own children down into the deepest, darkest abyss of the universe. A place called Tartarus. This was not a prison. It was a pit of pure nightmare, miles beneath the earth, surrounded by bronze walls and absolute darkness. He locked them away forever. Gaia was heartbroken. She was enraged. Her children were suffering, and she begged the other Titans to help her. She forged a massive, unbreakable sickle of pure diamond. And she pleaded with her sons. "My children, your father is wicked. He has imprisoned your brothers. Will you help me take revenge?" The betrayal. All the Titans were terrified of their father. All of them stayed silent. All of them except one. Cronus, the youngest Titan, stepped forward. He was ambitious. He was ruthless. He looked at his mother Gaia and agreed to the plan. He took the diamond sickle, and he hid himself in the shadows of the cosmos. When Uranus descended to lie with Gaia, Cronus struck. He jumped out from his hiding place, and with one vicious, violent swing, he severed his father's genitals with the sickle. Uranus screamed in agony. He pulled away from the earth, rising high into the sky, leaving Gaia forever. As his blood dripped down onto the earth, it gave birth to the Furies, terrifying goddesses of vengeance, as well as the giants and the nymphs. Cronus had won. He had overthrown his father. He became the new king of the universe. The golden age of the Titans had begun. The poisonous prophecy. But power comes at a price. As Uranus retreated into the sky, he looked down at his treacherous son, Cronus, and he shouted a terrible curse. He declared, "You have wronged me, my son, and you will suffer the same fate. One day, your own child will rise up against you, just as you rose up against me." Cronus laughed off the curse. He took his sister Rhea as his queen, and they ruled the cosmos. But the curse ate away at Cronus's mind. He became paranoid. He became cruel. He became exactly like his own father. And when Rhea gave birth to their first child, a daughter named Hestia, Cronus's mind snapped. He couldn't take the risk. He opened his mouth wide, and he swallowed his own newborn daughter whole. A cycle of horror. He did this again with his second child, Demeter. He swallowed her. And Hera. He swallowed her. Then Hades. He swallowed him. And then Poseidon. He swallowed him too. Every time Rhea gave birth, Cronus took the infant and devoured them entirely, locking them inside his stomach to live forever in darkness. Rhea was devastated. She watched 5 of her children be consumed by their own father. She was heartbroken and furious. She swore that she would not let the 6th child suffer the same fate. When she became pregnant with her 6th child, she knew she had to act. She secretly traveled to the island of Crete, far away from the sight of Cronus. There, in a dark, hidden cave, she gave birth to her son. She named him Zeus. But she didn't keep him there. To save his life, she wrapped a heavy stone in baby blankets, handed it to Cronus, and told him it was the new baby. The foolish King Cronus, blinded by his paranoia, opened his mouth and swallowed the massive rock whole, thinking he had destroyed the prophecy. Meanwhile, deep in the cave of Crete, the infant Zeus was hidden. He was raised by the nymphs, fed on the milk of the magical goat Amalthea, and protected by the Curetes, who clashed their shields and spears together loudly to drown out the baby's cries. Zeus grew strong, intelligent, and filled with burning rage against his father. He knew his purpose. He was born to start a war. He was born to free his siblings. He was born to destroy the Titans. Zeus grew into a powerful young god. He knew he couldn't just charge at Cronus. His father had swallowed the most powerful gods alive. He needed a strategy. He needed allies. So he sought out the wisest being in the universe. The Titaness Métis, the goddess of cunning and wisdom. Métis agreed to help Zeus. She created a powerful emetic potion, a magical drink designed to make Cronus violently ill. Zeus managed to infiltrate his father's court, disguised as a cupbearer. He served the potion to Cronus. As soon as Cronus drank it, he convulsed. He grabbed his stomach. He vomited violently. First, he threw up the massive rock he had swallowed, thinking it was Zeus. Then, in a horrible torrent, he threw up Poseidon. Then Hades, then Hera, then Demeter, then Hestia. All of his siblings, fully grown, strong and furious, stumbled out of his stomach. They were alive and they were ready for war. Zeus united his 5 siblings. Together they were the 6 original Olympians. They stood together and declared war on the Titans. They called themselves the Olympians because they made their fortress atop the highest peak in Greece, Mount Olympus. From this mountain they would fight for control of the universe. The war begins. The war erupted with unimaginable fury. For the first 10 years of the Titanomachy, there was no winner. It was a brutal, bloody stalemate. The Titans were massive, ancient, and had the power of primal creation. They were led by the strongest Titan of all, Atlas, who was as tall as the heavens and could hold up the sky itself. On one side, the Titans used their raw elemental powers. Hyperion, the Titan of light, blinded the Olympians with searing beams of sunlight. Iapetus used his strength to shatter mountains and hurl them like pebbles. The Titans fought with ancient magic, breaking the earth and shaking the foundation of reality. On the other side, Zeus and his siblings fought with desperation and fury. Poseidon shook the earth with his trident, creating massive floods and tsunamis that drowned the Titans' positions. Hades moved through the shadows, striking from the darkness. Hera used her cunning to confuse the Titans, and Demeter created vast forests of thorns and poisonous plants to slow their advance. The turning point. But despite their courage, the Olympians were losing. They were young, and the Titans were simply too powerful. Zeus realized that he couldn't win this war with just his brothers and sisters. He needed help. He remembered his uncles, the Cyclopes and the Centimanes, locked away in the dark pit of Tartarus by their father Uranus. Zeus made the dangerous journey down into the darkest depths of the abyss. He broke through the bronze gates of Tartarus, and he saw the Cyclopes and the 100-handed ones. They were chained and tortured, but they were still immensely powerful. Zeus made them an offer. "Help me defeat the Titans, and I will set you free. I will give you honor and power." The Cyclopes agreed. They were masters of the forge. They immediately began crafting the most powerful weapons the universe had ever seen. They forged a massive, deadly lightning bolt for Zeus, a weapon that could shatter mountains and burn the sky. They forged a mighty 3-pronged trident for Poseidon, a weapon that could cause earthquakes and create tsunamis. And they forged a magical helmet of invisibility for Hades, the Helm of Darkness, which would allow him to move unseen. The secret tactics. Now armed with these divine weapons, the Olympians launched a new offensive. Zeus stood on Mount Olympus and hurled his lightning bolts into the ranks of the Titans, causing massive explosions that shook the cosmos. Poseidon struck the ground with his trident, causing the entire Earth to split open, swallowing entire armies of Titans. Hades put on his helmet and sneaked behind enemy lines, assassinating the lieutenants of the Titans, causing chaos and confusion in their ranks. But even with these weapons, the war was still too close to call. Titans regrouped. They were angry and determined. They knew that if they lost, they would face eternal punishment. They fought with the desperation of beings who had ruled the universe for eons. The world was in chaos. The sky was on fire. The oceans were boiling. The entire fabric of reality was tearing apart. Zeus saw that his physical attacks weren't enough. He needed brute, unstoppable force. So he went back to Tartarus. This time, he freed the most terrifying creatures in existence. The Centimanes, the 100-handed ones. These giants had 50 heads and 100 arms each. They were literally mountains of muscle and rage. Zeus unleashed them. The 100-handed ones grabbed massive boulders, entire cliffs and mountains, and they hurled them into the Titan army. They threw 1,000 boulders at once, completely crushing the Titan formations. The war reached its breaking point. The Titans were battered, broken, and bleeding. Zeus stood atop Mount Olympus, raised his lightning bolt, and called for a final, all-out assault. The final battle was about to begin. The final battle was unlike anything the universe had ever seen. It was not just a war. It was the apocalypse. The Titans gathered all their remaining strength. The strongest among them, Atlas, led the charge with a massive war cry. He marched forward, lifting the sky itself and throwing it down toward Mount Olympus. The sky came crashing down, threatening to flatten the mountain and destroy the Olympians. But Zeus was ready. He raised his lightning bolt and shot a massive, blinding beam of pure energy directly at the sky. The beam held the sky up, pushing it back into place. Meanwhile, Poseidon slammed his trident, creating a massive tidal wave that swept across the entire battlefield, knocking the Titan army off their feet. Hades used his helm of darkness to become invisible, and he stabbed the Titan generals from the shadows, one by one. The 100-handed ones went on a rampage. They grabbed the Titan warriors with their 100 arms, slamming them against the mountains, breaking their bones and crushing their spirits. The Cyclopes started a massive forge right on the battlefield, creating hundreds of smaller lightning bolts for Zeus's army, turning the sky into a continuous storm of fiery explosions. The final surrender. The Titans were outmatched. Despite their immortality and their power, they couldn't stand against the combination of the lightning bolts, the trident, the invisible assassin, and the 100-handed giants. One by one the Titans fell. Hyperion was struck down by a massive lightning bolt and thrown into a deep abyss. Iapetus was pinned by 100 massive boulders thrown by the Centimanes, unable to move. Atlas, the strongest of them all, stood his ground to the very end. He fought Zeus directly, trying to overpower the king of the gods. But Zeus, with the help of Poseidon and Hades, managed to trick Atlas. Zeus used his ultimate weapon, the Aegis, a magical shield that radiated pure terror. Atlas looked upon the shield, paused in fear for just a second, and in that moment, Poseidon struck him from behind with his trident, shattering his knees. Atlas fell to the earth, defeated. The eternal punishment. The war was over. The Titans had lost. Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades stood over the broken bodies of their enemies. They were filled with rage. They remembered how Cronus had swallowed their siblings. They remembered how the Titans had fought to destroy them. They were not merciful. They decided that the Titans would never be allowed to roam the world again. Zeus gathered his brothers and they devised the most horrific punishment imaginable. They dragged every single defeated Titan to the deepest, darkest abyss of Tartarus. This was not the same Tartarus they had visited before. This was deeper. This was the absolute bottom of reality. Zeus had the Cyclopes build a massive, indestructible bronze wall around the prison. They added 3 layers of impenetrable darkness. They placed the giant, monstrous Centimanes as the eternal guards at the gates, ensuring that no Titan could ever escape. The legendary punishment of Atlas. But for Atlas, Zeus had a special punishment. Since Atlas was the one who had thrown the sky at them, Zeus gave him the ultimate burden. He forced Atlas to stand at the very edge of the earth, in the far west, and use his massive shoulders to hold up the sky for all eternity. To this very day, Atlas is there, frozen in agony, holding the heavens on his shoulders, groaning under the immense, crushing weight. And what of Cronus? The king of the Titans suffered the worst fate of all. Zeus took his own father, the tyrant who ate his children, and had him shackled in adamantine chains. He was imprisoned in the deepest pit of Tartarus, surrounded by the vengeful spirits of his own victims. He would spend eternity there, suffering in the cold, impenetrable darkness, a fitting end for the god who tried to cheat destiny. The division of the new world. With the Titans defeated and imprisoned, the universe was finally at peace. The three brothers, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, stood on the highest peak of Mount Olympus and looked out at the earth, the sea, and the underworld. They decided to divide the universe fairly among themselves, using a lottery. Zeus drew the lot for the sky. He became the king of the gods, the ruler of the heavens, the wielder of the lightning bolt. He would sit on the throne of Olympus and govern the affairs of gods and men. Poseidon drew the lot for the sea. He became the god of the oceans, the earthshaker, the master of all waters. Hades drew the lot for the underworld. He became the god of the dead, the ruler of the shadows and the souls of mortals. The golden age of the Olympians. Thus, the reign of the Titans ended, and the reign of the Olympians began. The universe was completely remade. The gods settled on Mount Olympus and established their divine order. But the Titanomachy left permanent scars on the world. The earth still remembers the war. The volcanic eruptions, the earthquakes, and the massive storms that ravage our world are considered by ancient mythology to be the echoes of that brutal, decade-long war. The ultimate lesson. So, what is the lesson of the Titanomachy? This story teaches us a fundamental truth about power. Power is never permanent. Those who rule with cruelty, paranoia, and selfishness, like Uranus and Cronus, will always be overthrown. The universe demands balance. The Titanomachy is the story of the cycle of violence. How fathers fear their sons, how sons betray their fathers, and how the universe is born out of blood, conflict, and chaos. But it is also a story of hope. It is the story of Zeus and his siblings, who refused to give up. They fought against impossible odds, freed their family, forged incredible alliances, and used their brains and their strength to win. They didn't just bring down the old regime. They created a new order. And as we look up at the sky, or sail across the oceans, or walk on the solid ground, we are reminded that we are walking on the very battlefield where gods once fought to decide the fate of everything. Their war is over. But their legacy lives on in every thunderstorm, every earthquake, and every shadow that falls across our world. Thank you for joining me on this deep, dark dive into the Titanomachy. This is just the beginning of the mythology series. The next story is even darker. The tragic tale of Prometheus, the Titan who betrayed Zeus to give fire to humanity, and his eternal punishment. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I will see you in the next video.